The preseason is finally wrapped up. Last night, the New York Knicks took care of business at home against the Charlotte Hornets. Jalen Brunson had a fantastic game. We got a lot of depth off the bench, a lot of young guys stepping up, some injuries to report, and the Knicks made a roster decision, letting go of one of the players that is not going to make this team, officially waiving Mathews. We're going to get into all the things you need to know about these New York Knicks heading into the 2025-26 regular season, which tips off this Wednesday night against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Your boy will be in attendance at MSG for the Knicks opener. Will you be there? Let me know in the comments what you are thinking about heading into this Knicks season, because there's a lot of things we need to break down, a lot of excitement. Knicks fans, let's get straight into business. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, of course, but let's jump right in. Last night, we saw Jalen Brunson masterclass. Now, a lot of people are saying, how come nobody is criticizing Mike Brown for the minutes that he is putting Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges through? Now, listen, it's simple. He's trying to get them through, obviously getting into some season shape here. And I know some people are, critical of Mike Brown just because, hey, why don't you give the same energy to Mike Brown that we did to Tom Thibodeau? I was never somebody that was like the minutes police personally, so I'm not going to even give that a breath. But I do feel like giving Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson, the two starters that played tonight, 34 minutes of action, similar to the type of minutes they're going to be playing throughout the season in the final preseason game. I'm not going to complain about that. I think they got to get into game shape, which is different than when you practice and when you go out there and just for the first half of the preseason. Game-like shape is a different animal. But Jalen Brunson, to see him go out there and just play the JB that we all have grown accustomed to was refreshing. It was awesome to see Jalen Brunson do his thing. I mean, Jalen Brunson has an opportunity to really level up his game in the system, and you can tell he's getting comfortable. Obviously, without guys like Mitchell Robinson last night, Karl-Anthony Towns, and OG Anunoby, he had to be the guy for this Knicks team playing all those minutes. But he put up 29 points, 11 of 24 from the field, 5 of 12 from three-point land. You can tell that he was trying a lot of things, and he was putting a lot of energy. It felt like JB was playing a playoff game, and you love the intensity that Jalen Brunson brings to the floor, no matter if it's a preseason, regular season, or playoff game. So shout out to JB. He's ready to go for the Knicks season. Mikal Bridges, the other Knicks starter, he is just an absolute monster to watch. He had like 6 deflections, getting his hands on the ball on defense, 16 points, 7 of 15, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Mikal Bridges was only 2 of 8 from downtown, but he still makes an impact. Jordan Clarkson in 20 minutes at 13 points. But there was one guy that I wanted to highlight in this video specifically, which was Mohamed Diawara, the Knicks rookie. He looked really impressive to me, man. I mean, I really wonder the type of minutes he's going to get, because a big reason he played, of course, OG Anunoby, he unfortunately tweaked his ankle in practice this past week. We don't know if he's going to be healthy for the opener, but it's not serious. He should be back early on in the season. Mitchell Robinson did not play because of load management, and Karl-Anthony Towns actually has a quad issue, so obviously none of those guys are going to play in a preseason game. They want to get healthy, but that gave the rookie Mohamed Diawara an opportunity to play, and I really like him, man. His size, his length, it really fits the modern-day NBA, being able to run the floor at that size, 6'9", 225, and he's only 20 years old. He got a lot of, pass deflections. He had a really cool layup in transition to show off his athleticism. Hey, man, you never know. The Knicks can develop this young kid, and he can be a household name off the bench for the foreseeable future. And I'm really curious to see Mike Brown's rotations, because, you can't evaluate the rotations in the preseason because obviously they're still in evaluation mode, and there's a lot of injuries tonight. So last night, rather, so it's hard to really see. But really was impressed with Diawara. Jemison, the third, also played a lot of minutes last night, 23 minutes for the center. And this is another young guy that the Knicks are trying to, evaluate here. So Trey Jemison III, he looked decent. Definitely a decent player that the Knicks are bringing in for the preseason. And then Deuce McBride doing his usual stuff off the bench. Landry Shamet, Yabusele. Tyler Kolek has been fantastic in his limited action in the preseason, in my opinion. Ariel Hukporty as well. So you look at the depth, you look at what this Knicks rotation looks like. I love the philosophy that Mike Brown is implementing here with this Knicks team. And the Knicks player that they decided to waive is Garrison Mathews ahead of today's deadline. Now, this is a guy I was hopeful could make the roster, but let's be honest, Knicks fans, not everybody was going to make the team. We had Malcolm Brogdon announce his retirement earlier this week, and then the Knicks had to make a decision whether that's trading somebody or that is waiving somebody, and that's exactly what they did. They decided to waive Garrison Mathews. I mean, I like the idea of him because he was a three-point shooter that I feel like was going to be able to, do some good things for the Knicks, in terms of spacing the floor. But at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, and the Knicks cannot go over that second apron. They're very financially restricted heading into the deadline, so Garrison Mathews is the odd man out. I know a lot of Knicks fans were telling me, and a lot of fans were coming together saying that we cannot get rid of Mathews. He's a player that we want to keep off the bench, but he is the odd man out. Now, you look at the narrative around the New York Knicks, the first thing we're always going to be looking at is the injury report. Who is going to be playing on opening night? Is Cat going to be ready to go? Is OG going to be ready to go? Mitchell Robinson has load management. So I wonder what the philosophy is with Mitch when he's not going to be playing in certain games just because of load management. Who is going to be in the starting five? Is it going to be Ariel Hookporty replacing him, right? Or is it going to be another center? Are they going to bring Josh Hart back? Another guy who is still injured in Josh Hart. I forgot to mention he's still dealing with those back spasms that he had in Abu Dhabi early on in the preseason. So the Knicks are injured early on in this season. And not a great thing, obviously, but the cool thing about this Knicks squad is the depth is legit. Like, you look at this Knicks roster, I obviously don't really expect them to win a lot of games with the lineup they put out there last night, but I do still think that they can win, with all these injuries early on in the season. And again, we don't even know who's going to be out for the first week or so of that season for the Knicks, but guys like Gershon Yabusele, Landry Shamet, and Deuce McBride and Jordan Clarkson, like those guys in particular, I really do think that's a good core off the bench that can start in times when they need to with some guys going down with injuries. And I do think that there's a perfect balance of veterans and youth for this Knicks basketball team, man. There's a target on this Knicks team's back. And Mike Brown is somebody that is coming in here and going to be implementing something different. He has a fresh energy, and I really do think that, watching him coaching these games in the preseason, seeing him coach up Diawara on the side, on the bench, seeing him talk to the young guys, his personality, his energy, it's a different feeling for Mike Brown, and I think he's done a really good job so far, but only, time is going to tell in terms of the regular season, but more importantly, the playoffs. So what's your guys' expectations for these New York Knicks? I'm excited now that the preseason is finally wrapped up, and we can be excited for Knicks basketball that's going to count. I am really, really excited to watch this Knicks team go out there and play some meaningful basketball. Big time shout out to Sleeper for being the proud sponsor of Knicks Media all season long. Don't forget to check them out, folks. You guys can use the code Knicks and get $20 for free when you sign up. Terms and conditions apply. They got awesome player prop bets over there. You could build a whole parlay, win up to 100x your money. Do it for Sunday football, and then this week we could talk some basketball bets and we can win some money together. Please bet responsibly, and don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks. Preseason basketball is wrapped up for the Knicks. Next up, it all counts on Wednesday night. I'm out of here, folks. Enjoy your weekend, and let's go Knicks.